Well, round 12 of the AFL was a complete disaster. Well, I don't really want to look back at round 12, but I suppose we have to, and obviously it started badly because on Thursday it was Port Adelaide versus Carlton, and I went for a 6-point Port win. Oh, Carlton won by 36. And only, I think, maybe 4 people got a close score for this one. But yeah, it was not good, and this was the team. The underdogs won, and a lot of people voted for Port to win, but it's not going to help me. Next up, Friday was Collingwood versus Bulldogs, and once again, the underdogs won. I did Collingwood by 6. However, the Bulldogs won by 18. As you can see the pattern that actually, I did think some of the games were going to be close games. They just didn't go my way. With this one, once again, quite a few people got a close score, but only 20% of people actually went for a Bulldogs win. So it shows how the underdogs really did win again in this one. Next, okay, this was a close one. Saturday was Hawthorn versus Adelaide Crows. I did a 12-point win for the Crows, but Hawthorn won by 27. They turned up this week. Very even split here, a really, really even split. 51% of people went for Hawthorn, so well done if you're one of them. Not an easy one to call. They said there were some difficult calls this week, and I did say that. Not easy at all, and most of them went against me, it seems. Then West Coast Eagles versus Saints. I did a West Coast by 6. Saints won by 14. Once again, really going against what I thought were going to win. West Coast have been showing signs of life recently, and Saints have not. Yeah, that's a tough one to take a little bit, actually, because I thought, yeah, that was a moment for West Coast. But no, so I get nothing for that one. Then, finally, the favourites actually won because at the litter box, Geelong 99 versus Richmond 69. I did Geelong to win by 60. They actually only won by 30, which is annoying. A lot of people got a close score there. I overestimated what Cats could do. So 1 point for me there. Then Sunday, we had the D's versus Freo, and what the hell is going on with the D's? That puts them down to 9th, amazingly. That's shocking. They go from 4th to 9th. That is how tight it is in the AFL at the moment. And Freo, where did that come from? Anyone? Where did that come from? Freo are weird at the moment. They are so weird. They're either really good or really bad, but no one got anywhere near that score prediction, so nothing for me there. Then the last game was Gold Coast Suns versus Essendon, and again, 67% of us got it wrong. I did Essendon by 15. They actually lost by 11. Not a good week at all. Well, I fought so hard to get up the table, out of the 100 zone, up I went to 60 odd. But it's, yeah, that's all ruined. But let's look at the league table. Gurud is up 2 places. We have a new leader. AFL Legend has gone up again, up to 4th place. Well done. Down 5 is RPN. Yin is down 2. He was the leader for such a long time. Up 9, Swanee Steve. Down 5, Frenchie. Some good movement in this little section. Look at this. Think Outside the Square up 12. Banana Jojo up 12. Stinky Pinky up 14. Well done. Aaron up 4. Ragnarok X up 6. Wow. Papa Cryptic is up 32 and is not the golden hat. Amazing. Beauregard is up 27. Shrek the Third down 10. Jackson down 12. Tasha down 12. Jason down 12. We got some really, really big movement this week. If you predicted those, well, the underdogs to win, you would have picked up some decent points for sure. Keyboard Warrior up 13. Here we go. Look at this. Jaden Saints, David L. and Tom Shear now up 22. Unbelievable. But the golden hat goes to Brycey B. Well done, up 37. Down 20s, Mike Joe. If I haven't got the wooden spoon, I'll be amazed. Sarah Marr down 23. Oh, God. Where am I? Down 20, Otis. Up 19, Mighty Muffins Rules. I haven't got the wooden spoon. But I am down 18 places now to 80th. That is so depressing. Who gets the wooden spoon? Who? I'm still looking. There we go. The wooden spoon, only down one place, but Anthony Hill gets the wooden spoon this week. Let's keep scrolling so everyone can see where they are. This is not great if you're all the way down here, but those are the tables for last week. Let's get started with round 13. It can only get better, and I'm sure it'll get better than last week. But we start on Thursday, the 6th of June at the Adelaide Oval. Crows versus Richmond. Now, I think we can all agree that the Crows have not had the best 2024 really so far, but they are up against a Richmond team that they are, well, awful at the moment. They are really, really struggling. And there are reasons for that. I get that. But we've got to take what we are receiving from them. The game is at Adelaide Oval. That should be a decent advantage to the Crows. And I don't see anything other than a Crows win here. I think this is probably a fairly straightforward one to call. So I'm going to go with Crows to win by 40. A 40-point win for the Crows. Then Friday, Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs versus Brisbane. Here is the first one that looks potentially quite tricky. Bulldogs did just come off a really, really good win against the Pies, didn't they? Which they weren't necessarily expected to win. Their form is certainly a little bit better, only a little bit better than the Lions, who, well, both teams have lacked consistency. Let's be honest. Let's not say for one or the other. Both teams have really lacked consistency. I think given their last win and playing at home, or playing in Victoria, I think we've got to go with a Bulldogs victory here. I don't think it'll be huge, but I just don't trust Brisbane at the moment. That is the real issue. I don't trust them to get a win. And I think Lions are making it very, very difficult to tip them. So I'm going to go with a Bulldogs win by 15. There you go, 15. Then Saturday, we are at the University of Tasmania Stadium. Hawthorn versus Giants. Now, who would have thought Hawthorn would have a form looking like that, mostly green? Where has this come from? They have risen like a phoenix, because they were pretty much dead and buried, and they have found life. They are up against a Giants team who, yes, their form isn't quite as good. They are certainly sitting higher than them in the table, and they are certainly desperate to keep hold of their top 8 spot, which they could lose if they don't get the result this week, for sure. I think considering that the Giants have just come off a week without a game, I know they're over in Tasmania, but I think hopefully that rest week that the Giants have had is going to do wonders for them. I really, really do. They did obviously come off a win in their last game as well. So I think I am going to go with a Giants win. I would be surprised if Hawthorn managed to beat Giants, because I don't think Giants are doing too bad at the moment. I know they did lose 3 games in a row, but Giants. Let's go Giants. Giants by 18. Not an easy one to call. Once again, there is some difficulty again. Next up, we are at the Optus Stadium. It is the West Coast Eagles versus North. Same as last year, is this the game where North can come and win their first game of the season? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I know most weeks they've they've put up some fight. Not as well as last year, but West Coast, I think they're at home. I just think they're slightly better. They've just shown that they are slightly better this year. Not by a lot, but they have shown they're slightly better. It's so depressing for both teams, really, isn't it? But I think I've got to go West Coast. They're at home. They've shown they're slightly better. And I just don't see a win coming to North anytime soon. It's really quite depressing for them, isn't it? It really, really is. So I think it's a difficult one because West Coast Eagles have a habit. They've shown some games now where they can turn up, play really, really well. They can turn up, play well, lose, or they can be obliterated. Like, obliterated. So you don't know what team's turning up. But I think you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt in the fact that they are against North. So let's go with a West Coast win by 26. Then Marvel, we are with St Kilda versus Gold Coast Suns. This is not an easy one to call either. This is not an easy one. I thought it was a very much a surprise victory from Saints last week. You've got Gold Coast Suns who are clinging onto a top 8 spot. They are literally in eighth place now. But I don't think Saints have shown the quality. They haven't shown the firepower. Yes, they won last week, but I think we can possibly think of that as a bit of an anomaly. So, I think I've got to go with Gold Coast. I think Gold Coast form has been a lot better. What have they got? 7 wins, 5 losses. But I think it has certainly been a little bit more consistent. And actually, they've shown a lot more life, a lot more character than Saints, who have been... Yeah, they've not been a good team this year at all. So, let's go. I still think it would be slightly close. But let's go with a Gold Coast win by 10. Not easy one. But Sunday, it's stupid o'clock in the morning, 6:20 in the morning. Sydney Cricket Ground. It is the Swans versus Geelong. Straight away I know which team's going to win. Sydney, obviously. My boys, the Sydney Swans, Bloods. We are going to win against the Geelong team, who are currently, amazingly, sitting in 3rd. How are they in 3rd with the form that they're showing? It's because they started so well. Geelong started really, really well this season, didn't they? And then it sort of crumbled. But the Swans have proven they can beat the best teams. That's what's so brilliant this year. We have beaten some of the best teams in the league. And I think to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And we have done that. We've lost 1 game in 11. We are sitting top. Here we can push further ahead. We're at home. I don't think there is anything really... that we don't have really many injuries that are affecting us anyway. Our big players are still pretty fit and firing. Midfield is fantastic. Just need to get rid of Amati because he's bloody rubbish. But that's my opinion anyway. I don't think Geelong are showing enough. And I, with their recent form, the fact they are in 3rd, I don't think represents how they're playing at the moment. And actually, them being in 3rd at the moment, if certain teams perform this week, they may not stay in 3rd place if they lose as well. They may plummet with how tight it is. So I'm going to go with a Sydney win, of course. The funny thing is, last year, I picked them and they lost most of the games. This year, they're making it quite easy for me, so I'm really happy about that. I'm going to go with a Sydney win by 24. Then, MCG, we have Essendon versus Carlton. Not an easy one again to pick this one because both teams are firing. You've got Essendon currently in 2nd place. They've only lost 3 games out of 11. Out of 12, sorry. Against a Carlton team in 5th who have lost 4 in 12. So there's not really anything splitting them. Carlton obviously 2 wins back-to-back. They had a good win against Port last week. I think It's not an easy one to call. Essendon, I think people predicted to do better last week. And once again, as I say, it's how they're going to bounce back. Will they bounce back? Will they get that kick up the backside? Or will they plummet a little bit down? I think, actually, against this Carlton team, who they've won the last two, but I still don't think they are convincing. So I think I'm going to go with an Essendon win. Tight one, though. A really tight one by 6. Carlton have made some very tight games this season, so fair play to them. So I think I'm going to go with a tight win for Essendon this week, though. Then the last game of the week is on Monday. Monday the 10th at MCG. Collingwood versus the D's. Now, the D's are just... They've lost games they really shouldn't have lost. Obviously, Collingwood come off a defeat last week, but their form has been a hell of a lot better. But this should be a tight game. Both teams play at the MCG most weeks. It's not an easy one to call this. Yeah, I don't think Pies will lose 2 in a row. That's the thing, and I think D's. This could be bad for the D's, actually. Playing at the moment, this could be bad for them. It really, really could. So, we are going to go with a Collingwood win, a Pies win, by 6. Yeah, that's this week's tips. So, this week's tips are as follows. Crows by 40, Bulldogs by 15, Giants by 18, West Coast Eagles by 26, Gold Coast by 10, Sydney by 24, Essendon by 6, and Collingwood by 6. Some difficult ones again to call this week, which may really divide people 50-50 for sure. And there are going to be winners and there are going to be losers. And it's all if you're on that correct side to see if you go up the league table. And actually, last week had some serious movement in the tables, didn't it? Not easy, but hopefully we will do better, or I will do better than last week. I hope you guys all do rubbish because I need to go back up the table again. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I really, really hope you're enjoying the series and we continue throughout the season. Thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe, and I will catch you next week.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.